Hey there, fellow creatives. I'm here with a YouTube video, probably the first one on my channel, but I wanted it to be something that is kind of helpful and something I love, which is books, a part of the creative journey that I'm in. And so I wanted to share today with you some art and design books that they're going to be inspirational, maybe encouraging, but also to show you a little bit about the process of all these artists and designers that share what that's like. And so hopefully that can give you some valuable insight and just improve your creative journey. Okay, so friends, today I'm going to start with, you can probably see a little bit over here, but a stack of books. I have both art and design books. But let's start with some art books, and these can be either, you know, kind of inspirational, maybe more like a study, like for me to take, do like painting studies from, and or just maybe trying to learn a style of painting from others that I might kind of recreate or copy in my sketchbook that I won't put anywhere else, but it's just for me to improve. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you a few. So this first one's called Flower Color Guide by Taylor and Michael Putnam. So it's right here. And what's really cool about this one is it's all about flowers. It just has, it's a white background with the flower. And let me see if I can find a really good contrasting one. So here is an example. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I'll just flip through some more so you can see the examples that I'm showcasing here. And so what I used this book for, one, I love flowers, any floral elements in my paintings or my work. And so this is more like a reference book. And what's kind of cool is if, you know, you're a designer, you know what like Pantone books are, or color swatches from Pantone is. What's really cool about this is at the end they have perforated little different flowers from each like color section that you can actually tear out and like use as reference, maybe in a smaller way for a painting. And I don't know, something about that I just love, since as a designer I'm looking at swatch books and they have where you can, it's terrible perforated for you to take. So this is the first one that I think is great for reference, great for painting studies. And then this next one's called the Sartorialist, I may be saying that wrong, by Scott Schuman. And what's cool about this one is I actually found this one at a book sale. So what book sales are, it's like discounted books, could be either really good quality or maybe a little bit very loved. And so this one I actually found at a book sale that I went to a couple of years ago. And what's cool is it's just photography and fashion and style. And what I love about this is you can take these as references, like if you're wanting to draw people and to get to like learn about people's features and stuff like that. But it's just orange cover. It is by, I think, Penguin Books. And I just came across it and I thought how amazing it is to, one, just get maybe inspired by fashion, but also for reference, for referencing to draw people. I think that's a great example. I know oftentimes people go through on Pinterest and find people to draw, but like these are just have different poses, different, you know, styles, and I think that's a great one to just do a couple studies on people too. So this is a great one. I'm not actually sure how much, where you would find this. So this one I just found at that book sale. So you might be able to find it still online somewhere, but I'll leave a list of all the names and the authors down below. Okay, just piling all these books up. Okay, next is Reinventing Lettering by Emily Gregory. And these, it says inspirational pieces by contemporary practitioners. So this is all about different hand lettering artists, a little bit about the layouts, but also maybe how they designed it. They have a few sections where they show a couple sketches from people, but it's quite beautiful. They have a little description, you know, sharing about the artist itself. So I think it's something to just take a look at. I think what's amazing about having these books with other people's work is that you can kind of break apart, like, how did they work through this process, and getting to read about it and just see it, just for inspiration as well. So this is a great one, more for lettering and typography, if you guys are interested in that. Next we have, this is called Interactions of Color by Josef Albers. It's the 50th edition too. So what's cool about this one, or what I really appreciate, is it's taking you through understanding color and color theory, the effects that color has in it. The first part of it is very much, you're just reading a lot about color and their interactions of color. It's taking you through even like the different aspects, you know, if you combining colors as well. So what does, you know, a blue and a red, you know, in a single image look like? And what I think I like about it is that you're getting to learn about the different aspects of color, the hue, the value, and what it means to have it beside other colors, and what does that make or invoke, and feeling, also just with the concept itself. So this one could actually be for art and design. You know, you need both for as a designer and as an artist. So this is this one, and I think it's a great addition to your art books. Okay, so next is also going along with lettering, The Art of Lettering by Stefan Kunz. This one's kind of cool. So it has a couple of steps. It's mainly for practicing your lettering, and if you're into typography, learning a little bit about it. But here is the book, and he has practice little sheets. He has little areas for you to practice your type and calligraphy and lettering. And then he gives you pages for you to copy so that you're practicing. So you have the main artwork here, and then the blanks for you to copy. And let me see if I can find some I've done. I think I actually did them in a, oh, here's one. So this one says, work hard and dream big. So there's his, and then that's mine, where I decided to copy it. And you can break down a little bit of how he did that. And then he just gives you a whole lot of different ones to practice on, and gives you little tips on the way there. So if you're wanting to improve lettering, this is definitely one I would suggest. Okay. Next is Japanese Prints by Gabriele Fahr-Becker. And this is the cover. Here's the back, beautiful. So if you're very kind of learned the traditional, like, different forms of printing and art prints, this one is very beautiful. It talks about a lot of Asian art prints or prints that they've done over the years. And it talks about the artist, it talks about the reason for that print, but just beautiful. And so I love looking at this for style references. If I want a certain style that kind of maybe has this or mimics this kind of blocky color and line focus. So this is a great one. Here's some with beautiful blue tones and colors to it. Here is one more. Okay, so great reference, great for inspiration. Okay, so this is a stack I have here. And these are actually magazines. They're called American Art Review. And again, I got these at a book sale. So this, each stack was only about $1. So I got 6 for $2, which is great. And so with these, what I'm looking at here is really just inspiration. I oftentimes might want to practice color and learning how to kind of learning from, you know, people before me and getting an idea of how did they use color, how did they use texture in their paints. And so sometimes what I'll do with these is actually copy them in a book for practice, not to, you know, post anywhere or but just for me to improve in my skill sets. And so let me go through a few of these that I have, and they're covered. You can see here just it has beautiful paintings by those artists, and it gives me the opportunity to, and you can even see on the back themselves, just the different arts. And so I just like using them as reference. I think they're great. But again, this is called American Art Review. Go through a few of these. And so here, again, back. And these, again, just reference ideas, really practicing in my own time for those. So we have here In Progress by Jessica Hische. See inside a lettering artist sketchbook and process from pencil to vector. And this one, if you guys follow Jessica on Instagram, you've probably seen some of these in her work. But what's cool is she shows her process. So she goes talking a little bit about typography and letters themselves, but very short because there are books that, and I'll be sharing one later on in the design books that share about lettering. But you'll see here she shows the tools that she uses. Oh, let me make sure I show the cover. So you see here, here. Okay, so she shows a little bit about how she draws letters. Another good person on Instagram and on here on YouTube is Ian Bernard. He shows a lot about lettering, which is so great. So you can see here sketchbook pages of hers and the different lettering she does for those. And then later on, she goes on to show, again, just amazing to see her artwork and her sketches. So then you see, okay, here's the sketch, here's the digital or final. Again, a lot of her work is digital. Look at these letters, aren't they just beautiful? And then you can see, okay, how does her lettering go into contract work, freelance work? So you can see here one by for Dove, the chocolate brand. So that is her lettering with the brand and with what they're advertising here. Here's another one, Starbucks. Very beautiful, very creative. That's something that's very popular at times, is making lettering into kind of real 3D things like food, using it in, people might do lettering with pasta. And so it's taking those letter forms and seeing how can we make them creative for maybe the project that you're working on. So her book is wonderful, highly recommend. There's a season where I was very much into lettering, and so this book was one that really came in handy. So this one is 2,000 Years of Calligraphy. This one is, let me see the author. I may link it down below. But this one is also another one I found at a book sale. And this is just traditional calligraphy and what you might see as like illuminated manuscripts, old type. But here's some examples. It's quite beautiful, the lettering. This is all about calligraphy. You can see maybe on this page as well. Just beautiful, gorgeous lettering, and how it was used in like different work and different documents. You can see. So it just says, the summer of 1965, one of the largest and most comprehensive exhibitions of calligraphic masterpieces of the Western world was mounted in Baltimore by 3 major art institutions: the Walters Art Gallery, the Baltimore Museum of Art, and the Peabody Institution Library. It's showcasing elegant large format volume with their whole catalog of calligraphy produced over the last 2,000 years. From Roman inscriptional lettering to the work of contemporary masters. And so you can quite see that. It's quite beautiful. You can see the work. And so this is such a wonderful book. I highly recommend going to your local book sales. Again, this book was probably $1. And it shows just amazing calligraphy over time and over the years. So great for reference, just inspiration too. I need something to inspire me for fonts I'm looking for. I'll show this little sections. You can see how they're even thinking components of design, which is wonderful for layout. So great book, I recommend. And then lastly, within the art kind of books, this one actually I got recently. My twin sister got it for me on my birthday. It's called Timeless Paris by Marin Montagut. I might be saying that wrong, but here it is. And what I like about this book, at least what caught my eye, is that it's just about, over the years, little trinkets, and I think it says it here, like just little bits and bobs is the best way I can say it, about French culture and art, especially in Paris. And so you can see just like a very antique artwork and things that were popular during that time. Have thread and textiles. They have paint. They also have like yarn and just how things were done over the few years. And I think they even have a section on like, let me see, I think it was like pastels. Yeah, here, I'll show this page first. So you can see all the different colors and pastels that they've had, or small still owned shops in France in Paris that still make them. And so I thought it was just a beautiful book with just a bunch of inspiration over the years of what they have. And so I love it as maybe if I need help coming up with idea just to practice a sketch or color palettes. Just quite intriguing, honestly. Caught my eye and I thought this could be a great book to have just as reference. So Timeless Paris. And so here's this one. Okay, so we're moving on to design books that I have. We have quite a bit, so again, maybe get comfy, get your favorite tea or snacks, and just check out all these awesome books. So the first one we have is Conquer Your Rebrand. Build a B2B brand that customers love and competitors envy. This is by Bill Kenney. So Bill Kenney is the founder and CEO of what's called Focus Lab. They are a B2B focus on tech brands that they help rebrand. And what's beautiful about this book, one, Focus Lab is such a great company. I've kind of followed them along over the years. And he is sharing all of it. He's sharing what it means to go through the process with their design agency and studio on rebranding and building a brand with them, either existing or just a brand new one. So he talks about onboarding project management. He talks about taking the time to review work. He talks about the strategy. So what's awesome about this book is even the handoff. You can just see it's much of a chapter book sharing the ins and outs. It says here, an insider's guide to success for conquering your rebrand. So if you want to learn a little bit, if either you're somebody who wants your company to be rebranded or you're a designer trying to learn about the insides of a design firm, agency, then this is going to be helpful for both. One, to understand the process, and two, to even add it into your creative process. Well, I know during my freelance time, I used this, and it actually helped me during the client process, how to properly present to them and hand off those projects as well. So great book. Highly recommend. We have a Book of Ideas, a journal of creative direction and graphic design by Radim Malinic. And this book is purely very aesthetic, very beautiful, all about just showcasing different artworks within design. So we have packaging design. We have just logos, brandings, anything kind of graphic design related, poster design, ads. We have even like CD cover designs. Quite just the layout itself is very beautiful, very clean. We have different website layouts. So just a great, honestly, inspiration book as a designer. Maybe you're just wanting to see what has been done before, where has certain industries taken these projects, and so maybe that can help you understand what's a different direction I can take for mine. So great inspiration for design. So next we have this one is Logo, the reference guide to symbols and logotypes by Michael Evamy. Again, sorry. I will link all the titles and the authors in the description below. But this one is a large collection of different logos by different designers over the years. Symbols, and some of these you may know, some of these you may not know. It's all in black and white. There's no colored, there's a few colored logos, but a lot of these just talk about the history of them and where they were, what they have turned into. And so this is a great way to kind of learn what has been done. Is there something you can do differently? Those that have been done like very for, something that has to do with keys and coffee. There's a key coffee, logo type, or logo itself. Some very known. We've got UPS. And this is more as a kind of you could call it like a dictionary of logos for you to go back and see from the different designers. So you can have an idea for yourself too. Okay, this one is a bit of an older one. I think I got this either in college or a little bit after college. It's called Burn Your Portfolio, Stuff They Don't Teach You in Design School But Should by Michael Janda. And if you've been in the design world, you've probably heard of Michael Janda. And you can just see all the little notes, all the stickies I have on here. And this is not necessarily have pictures, but it's more about letting go of certain ways that maybe you've been taught as a designer in school, and showing you a bit more about just growing as an artist, growing about maybe some basics in design. He gives you like checklists, just a variety of different guides for improving your portfolio, improving it. I think he takes a lot of it of like perfection. It's more about getting to share your work. He talks about clients. You can see here he's talking about client work. So this is a book for young designers, people who are wanting to learn about the process, how to improve their portfolio, how to present, how to talk. Great overall book in this sense, especially if you're either in college or recently out of college. It's a little bit of an older book, but I think it still holds a lot of important teaching lessons for any designer. So definitely get this one in your hands. So this one is more of a book reading about the creative process and the creative feeling of making. This is called The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rubin. It's actually quite a popular book if you guys ever read it or heard about it in the recent years. And this is kind of, I would say, almost, it's a very much a read. Chapter books, reading through the chapters on his perspective of creativity and the form of creating. So it's very like poetically written, beautifully written with words. He's sharing the feeling of creating, the emotions, and he also encourages and pushes the reader to share your work, share it online, share it locally or wherever, but remembering that your artwork and the designs that you create are meant for other people as well. And so it's a beautiful kind of reminder to keep sharing your work to those around you, and getting through the process of, maybe it's not good enough, the imposter syndrome. This is a great book for you. Highly recommend it. So we're getting there. We're getting to the end. Next one is Nice to Meet You Again. And this is just showing, and it's all about visual greetings on business cards, greeting cards, and invitation. This book is all about business cards and the way people have designed business cards, the way they've made them very much unique to their own. So for all those designers working on building their own business card, this is a great one. You'll see here a variety of different styles. Like here, one is called Cradle to Cradle Studio Mo's Grown, all about sustainable design. And if I'm correct, these are made of real leaves. Because that's so important to them. They're all about sustainability. And so part of building a business card is thinking about what is it that you all do and who's it, referring to. There's one here, I think, Indoor Cycling, very much created with neon orange, a part of their logo, a part of their business card. And so you can see here parts in the logo, in the business card, well, in the logo itself too, the contrast, that kind of glowing feel, because that's part of their brand. If I'm correct, there's a lot of cool ones. They also show the use of paper, like this one, kind of made into these little shoes. It's a lot of texture. It's quite beautiful. Even the use of foils and how to make these key points, touching points for from business or a designer or person to person, and just making it unique to their own and making it to where they want to keep it and they want it to be useful. I can't remember if it was this book. Oh, here it is. Yes. This business card actually turns into a sponge. Quite unique. I think this, oh yes, the brand is a Mirror Shine Valet, all about washing and cleaning cars. So they made it very practical and very valuable and useful that their business card actually becomes a sponge. And I think that's so memorable as a designer working with maybe different printers or people to, oh yeah, it says right here, dry sponge, and it's screen printed. So that's really cool about it too. It says how or what it was printed on, if it's a die cut, if it was embossed, depossed, but just beautiful different styles. I think this is great for those wanting to bring impact, a little bit of emphasis through their business cards, that one touch point that, you know, we all know about. This is a great inspirational book for you to get some ideas. Quickly, I want to go through this one. This one's actually not necessarily a book. Again, I found this at a book sale, and it's architecture from a Packard Hall at Colorado College. So the only reason I really picked this up is because it came with like a little brochure thing, but inspired by architecture and just seeing the different buildings, the light work. So for me as a creative, I love just looking at, it even looks like it has sketches. Yes, sketches of the way the buildings were drawn. But just the beauty of architecture and how that can inspire your work. So not necessarily a book. I'm not sure if you could even find this anywhere, but just maybe looking online, you can just see here, and even how they open it up to like the blueprints for that building. So just a little inspiration. I like to just see what I can find. So just a reminder that whenever you're looking at books or whenever you're trying to find inspiration, it can come in different forms. Okay, so this one is A Guide for Creatives, Freelance and Business and Stuff by Amy and Jennifer Hood from Chutzpah Studios. So if you know who Amy and Jennifer are, they're actually quite known within the design industry. They've worked with amazing clients like Disney, a variety of awesome clients that they've done a lot of work with. And this book in particular is all about those that want to learn how to build their own business as a creative. Either if you're freelancing or if you're building a studio yourself, they go through the whole process. So they have everything from, here's a page that says how to start your own business, grow your client base, and promote yourself without selling out or starving. This is no faff, no fluff guide. It's peppered with applicable advice, things we've learned from starting our own business, unasked for humor and worksheets. I'll just kind of read a few of the table contents here. So do you have what it takes? Is freelance or having your own business something that is actually going to work with you? Making a budget, pricing proposals, how to create a business plan, contracts, workflow, taxes, accounting, and then saying competitive and adaptive. So you can see here a lot of little stickies. I had a business prior, and so this just helped me get the ball rolling and learning a little bit more about what it takes to have your own studio. You can see so much highlighting in here. And then I think this book you can only find on their website. So if you go to chutzpahdesign.com, they have a shop, I believe, and then this is where you can get that. So wonderful book. Go check out their work. Let me see if I can. You can just see little bits that were illustrated, which is quite beautiful. So just definitely highly check it out if that's something you're interested in. Next we have here, and this was what I was talking about lettering here. This is a great book. It's called Mastering Type, The Central Guide to Typography for Print and Web Design by Denise Bosler. This is a very whole and extensive book on the history of lettering and typography. So you can see here the printing press, illuminated manuscripts, and she takes you to the history, but also showing you about letter forms itself, teaching you about letters, things like stroke, determinal, serif, sans serif. And so here is a little bit of a couple of pictures you can see. And then different fonts as well. And so you'll see all the ways that people have used fonts, changed them, made them their own. Here are a few of the layouts and pages for this. Very extensive, very like comprehensive, I would say. She talks even about a little bit of layout and contrast. So great book, highly recommend. Awesome for designers and especially people who are wanting to grow in their type design and lettering. So this one is called Identity Design, The Process by David Airey. And he is a designer and he takes you through the design process as well. You can see here, he's showing you all aspects of maybe branding and design. He's all about research, strategy, design, and implementation. That's what he goes through in the book. You can see beautiful layouts where he shows brands, and then he has even sketches on his process of how he came to build a type of brand. So it's sharing the process, showing off those projects as well. So you can see here this one, the sketch, and then the project itself. This one also great for like getting just inspiration, ideas, kind of like if you would for going through Pinterest. I think books always show, you know, work that's just been done by maybe high-level designers, and it's a great process book for new designers or just designers with experience as well. This one is called Less is More, Limited Color Graphics in Design. And this is by a company called Victionary that has amazing design books. Their whole focus is design specifically. And so this one's all about color in design. And what's really nice about this one is you have maybe that design project, but at the corner edge it tells you about the colors used, how they were used, if they were foiled or not, but it's just design and color and the different artist studios that have worked on it. Yes, less is more. So great book, awesome reference or just inspiration. And by that same kind of publisher is this one called From Type to Logo. Also, what I love about design books and art books is they're just so beautiful. The binding, the way it's made, I love it. This one is actually taking you through how a logo type was used for a project. And actually this one was such a great just way to learn on how to use type design for certain things. Like here's one, shares the type, how they work through it. It also has little sections on why they used it, how they used it, the interaction with color. So honestly, such a great book to learn about why, how designers or studios, agencies might go about for certain projects. Here's another one. But again, just quite beautiful, and also just learning the process. I think you learn a lot when you are getting to see the process for companies or designers and what led them to that design decision. So that wraps up pretty much all, just double checking, all my art and design books for you guys. Let me know if any that you enjoy, that you just like love, and you're like, this is a great book, highly recommend. Share it down in the comments. We're here to help all creatives. So I hope that this helps you in your creative journey and endeavor. Bye guys.